Hello and welcome to This is the Day Show. I am your host, RJ Cole.
And I'm Fred Graham.
Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode. Our show is also on video. You can find our videos on Rumble and on YouTube. Our podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also on iHeartRadio. If you like our show, we would ask that you subscribe, follow, and also write us a wonderful 5-star review.
5 stars.
5 stars. We do have a few ways for you to interact with us. You can email our show at thisisthedayshow@gmail.com. We can also be found on X at thisisthedayshow without the W, and on Facebook by searching for This is the Day Show. Our podcast providers have given us some new features. If you'd like, you can text our show. Select the episode that you're about to listen to. Look on the top left of the episode, and it will say send us fan mail. Click on that link to send us a message, and now you can send us a voicemail.
Yeah.
We can also reply to your messages now. Feel free to send us any questions, feedback, or interest that you may have for the show. Thank you for the continued promotion and support. And here we go.
On to the show.
Yes, sir.
So,
For Graham, how was your week, buddy?
had a pretty good week. Work, a lot of work. Actually, Monday did a book club, which was pretty interesting. It's a group of guys that our kids all do the same like nature group and got together. The book was underwhelming, I guess is how I'll say it, although the bathroom project kind of really put the pressure on. But it is a decent book, I guess. It kind of got us just talking, which is obviously the idea. So it was interesting. We're gonna read something about the early Roman history and how the church began, like, and kind of grew despite the Roman persecution on the early church. Very interesting concept, and most guys, Roman history is kind of one of our. You don't know what to talk about it to another guy. Roman history is kind of a good talking point. Most of us kind of know some stuff about that. Other fallbacks are sports. So, but yeah, that happened Monday. I don't remember Tuesday. It's just been a long week, but it's been good. Work is consistent. I'll say it that way. It's struggle a little bit with some of the people, but it's going and it's good. The weather has been pretty crazy. I think the last 3 days we've been under a tornado watch. I got hit in the head with hail this week, so that was exciting. I had a hard hat on, so it didn't matter. But just it's Iowa, man. So, but yeah, things are going good. Home life, kids are better. The weather is just causing people to get kind of snotty. But I planted grass seed. It was actually clover, but it's starting to grow. I thought all the birds would eat it all because I didn't cover it, but it's worked out. Haven't had to mow yet, but everybody else in the neighborhood's starting to, so I feel like I have to. But because my front yard and my backyard were so patchy, I don't really know if I can mow yet in those spots.
Yeah, because usually you want a few weeks for that to settle in and grow. Yeah. My front yard's the same exact way. It looks horrible right now.
Because I think it's going on 2 weeks that I've done it. So, dude, it's a funny story about that. I had this cedar, and I set it down, but it's kind of on a slight hill, like by the driveway, and it dumped. So I have,
one of the push ones?
Yeah.
Oh. So
I have just a solid patch of just clover coming up, dude. It it was encouraging because I got to see, but dude, that was the one spot where there was so many birds. We have so many little house finches and sparrows that live by us that just, I'm like, I'm not going to have any of this seed stick around, but it's germinated. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't push mowed yet, but that was hopefully in a couple weeks I can, but hold off as long as I can. But how was your week?
Well, to piggyback on your lawn situation, usually I'll throw like weed and feed out there, but like this year I've been more conscientious of stuff, especially when we've heard like the rising rates of cancer in Iowa, like maybe things I should or shouldn't be doing. And I'm just wondering, like, everybody has to have green grass to kill all these dandelions. Like, my dog goes in that grass. He's also gotten allergies over the past 2 or 3 years when I started doing that. Not that I'm saying it is or it isn't. So I've been very conscientious about that. So this year I really wanted to try to beef up my grass, but then I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm going to. Just let it be all natural this year. But yeah, it's really bad patchy out there. So
yours is at least from a dog. Mine's from kids. Predominantly.
Part of it is. And like, I don't know. It's just not filling in spots. But also I've mowed twice. And like today I mowed. It was tall, but like I couldn't use any of the clippings in the yard because it just clumped up. Because it was literally after it rained. And that's the only time that I had to do it. So I had to pull those up. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll figure it out. But this week, I mean, I think it was just a normal week except for the storms, like you said, the hail. So would have been Wednesday.
There was some. I don't think our area. I want to say it was like.
I think.
Out.
Okay, so I think it was Wednesday that I actually had to stop my truck in Tama, which I never do. I hardly ever stop my truck. The only time I've ever stopped my truck, I think, before was the derecho.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just drive through it. It is what it is. Because there was hail and there was like ping pong size and it just came out of nowhere. So like I had to pull off on the highway and yeah, it was done in like 5 minutes. But then today I was driving. And then all the alarms are going off. I'm in the middle of nowhere delivering to a house. And this guy can't make up his mind how to get this thing off. And finally I'm just like, let's just get it off. He's like, yeah, so you can get out here. I'm like, yeah, I need to get out of here because now there's tornado sirens and hail's supposed to be coming. So got out of there and then rushed to my next stop about 10 or 15 minutes later. And I got that delivered. And as soon as we delivered and got inside their place, that's when everything just hit. Maybe I'll have to throw the pictures up. But yeah, it was like golf ball sized hail, dude. And I was just like, oh man, his truck had a couple of dents in his, but my semi was fine. I don't need to crack windshield when I'm driving.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, yesterday at work, really crappy day at work. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that went on yesterday. I've gotten a replacement truck because it's down at a different place and only one place can do like alignments on the truck. Not every place can. So they sent it down to this main hub. And so they gave us this loaner truck. And like when we got it, I wrote up 6 things on it right off the bat. Like my truck is a lot better than that, you know. And I don't know why they sent that out. But then... So I've been having issues with it all week. Think I got everything fixed. Well, then yesterday, no. My scanner goes out. We have to manually feed in our papers into the scanner, and then it shoots it up to our corporate office so they can bill it out and stuff. So that wasn't working, which it's a time-consuming process. You have to take the tablet out now, and you have to scan every single piece of paperwork. But it's one of those capture things. It's not like I can just take the picture. No, you have to wait for it to go around the border and fill in. Spilled my protein shake on myself halfway through my day. Just smelled like protein shake, covered in dots everywhere. It was disgusting. And I'm not in my truck, so I have nothing to clean myself up with. There was just a bunch of stuff yesterday. I felt like the statue and not the pigeon, if you've heard that saying before.
Yep.
And I was just done yesterday. But working a lot, getting a lot of hours. So that's been good. Got my gutters done. Need it really bad. East side of the house was rusting out on the bottom. So, yeah, it's crazy how much they want for gutters. There was another company that quoted me over $8,000 to do it. And they're probably better quality, but that's double the price of what I got mine for,
Yeah.
But yeah, so not a bad week. Won't let the one day ruin the week, but yeah. And then got a busy weekend. Gonna do Easter with the family. So, Mama Cole's feeling good. She wasn't feeling too hot, but we're gonna have Easter and make a good weekend out of it. So,
yeah, we got family coming in, so kids are excited, and then a lot of play scheduled, so that'll be fun. So
good sleeping for the kids.
You think? I mean, hopefully. Sometimes, man, there's like a fine line, because if you overdo it to where they're just like going crazy, they'll be overstimulated too much, or they'll pass out in the van.
Kind of like when I get too tired and I just get the giggles.
Yeah. That happens.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the kids just get extra whiny, and you're just like, dude, I just need you guys to stop. You're in your bed. But they don't want to be in bed. They want to keep the party going, and it's just not appropriate, dude. So,
we sound like our parents. You need to go to bed right now.
Right now. So,
yeah. Well, I have a call to action this week.
Yes.
You ready to hear about it?
There's a lot of call to action.
I was looking, and there's one of two stories that's hit the news. I'm going to cover one today. It's a story that's from Fox News. And here I go. Officers from the Omaha Police Department shot and killed a woman in the parking lot of an Omaha, Nebraska Walmart after she cut a 3-year-old boy with a knife on Tuesday, police told Fox News Digital. When officers arrived, they encountered a woman who cut an approximately 3-year-old boy with a large knife. And that thing was big. Officers shot the woman, who died at the scene. The boy was taken to the hospital, the OPD said in a statement on X. Police stressed that it was an isolated incident and that there was no threat to the public at the time. So, the story is that the police arrived to the Walmart located at 72nd Street between Pacific and Mercy Road at approximately 9:20 in the morning, according to local media reports. The woman had taken the child from his caretaker and made him walk outside. OPD Deputy Chief Scott Gray reportedly told reporters at the scene, according to WOWT, when police began to give the woman commands, she started swiping at the child, giving the child lacerations to the hands and face, Gray said. The child was taken to a local hospital for the injuries, but is expected to survive.
That's like the only good part of the story.
Yeah. So.
And of course it would happen at a Walmart, dude.
And in Nebraska.
Gosh.
Looking at you. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, so I guess the call of action more or less is keep your eyes on your kids. I mean.
Stricter gun laws. No, I'm just kidding. Like, yeah. That's what they're going to go after, though.
Oh,
guarantee it.
If it fits the narrative, yes. Your parents, you have children, and sometimes you kind of just wonder what that perfect boundary is of whether here's an analogy I've tried to look at. You have sand in your hand, your children are the sand in your hand, you squeeze it too tight, it's going to want to come out. You let go, some will fall out, but it'll settle. So you're trying to find that right balance to not be a helicopter parent, but also letting them have some freedom too. But I would definitely say strive to be that helicopter parent if you have to be. And the other thing is protect yourself. We've talked about firearms, and doesn't necessarily have to be a firearm, but I mean, you can get a taser, a baton. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Non-lethal. Oh, what are they called?
With the gun?
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily promote that.
Yeah, no?
No, I won't say the name, but the non-lethal gun has had issues. There's a man who did the experimental process with it. The non-lethal rounds, so the plastic bullets or the kinetic rounds, they're called, would hit the guy, but the guy's like, it's not going to stop me. So that wasn't much of a deterrent. The smoke and the pepper spray or pepper gas, whatever they want to say, wasn't enough to deter them. But then also they have issues where there's high humidity. So here in Iowa, other places like that, they tend not to release.
Nice.
So somebody actually told me about that, and I was actually going to buy one, but they told me about that. And there's a guy he does a lot of church training.
Okay.
And he wrote a review on it, so yeah.
On that topic, dude, I was really surprised. We did a like on the job site, they did a like run, hide, or fight, and fight was the last resort. But it was like put out by the FBI, and it like talked about like kind of like that training that we had. Whereas like grab anything and everything that can become a weapon and use it. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I think given that situation, I'd want to, at least feel like I had some control of my fate.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously, yeah, the whole premise of this training was like, if you can get out, call 911, get the authorities, the proper people who have the proper training, come in and do that. But like, don't try to be the hero. But if you're stuck hiding, kind of fight your way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Save lives if you can. But yeah, just on that, with that story, like just be protective of your kids as far as like where they're at, who's with them. It's scary a little bit, man. Like what type of world we're in, but
yeah, there's a lot of tools you can use at your dispense. I've even looked. There's even this one. I think it would be considered a taser, but you can shoot it. And they even have a guarantee, like even if you shoot and you run away, like they'll replace it, like, in which that's pretty cool because how much the cartridges cost, or the gun itself costs, they'll replace it for free. So, but yeah, just getting something you're comfortable with, something that you can defend your family with. And, I'm even forgetful at times of bringing my weapon with me when I'm out and about, and it's crazy times, and I'm supposed to protect and defend my family.
Right. And I know a lot of things like you can kind of, I don't know, as like don't downplay your senses. Sometimes you can sense in an area something's off, and kind of be mindful of that and pay attention. I'm not saying you necessarily have to leave the situation. It might be a good idea to, but like be more aware of what's going on when that cues in, because worst case scenario, like you didn't need to be all that high alert, but I guess that'd be best case scenario. You wouldn't need that, but if something did happen, at least you're ready to act.
Yeah, even if you're with your kids at the store and maybe you're the wife with the kids, like not being on your phone, not talking on your phone while you're out at the store, just get your business done and go. But yeah, trust your gut, because you'd much rather trust your gut. And this dude's been walking around with me for like 5-6 aisles. Like maybe it's time to just go completely somewhere else and then come back to doing what you're doing too.
But with that being said, obviously go to more of a public.
Yes.
Don't isolate yourself. And
don't go to lawn and garden by yourself.
Yeah, definitely not. Or just if you feel like someone's following you, tracking you, then get in a crowd and try and shake them that way, I guess. But
So congrats to the officers for being heroes and stepping up. So
Yeah.
All right, buddy. You ready to jump into the main topic?
Yeah, main topic, picking up where we left off. So
Okay. So we're jumping back in the Constitution once again. Just with our founding, getting back to the basics of everything. That way we get a good foothold and we can stand. We're covering the Constitution now, and we did 1, 2, and 3 last week. So now we're looking
of Article 1.
Of Article 1.
So,
excuse me. Yeah. So now we're going to jump on to number 4 and see how far we can get today.
Yes.
All right. Section 4. The times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof, but the Congress may at any time, by law, make or alter such regulations, except as to the places of choosing senators.
Yeah, the regulations and stuff I put on here, they need to put a salary cap on the campaign trail, because it's amazing just the amount of money that is, for lack of better wording, wasted, during that process, just in marketing. And I'm sure, if you're into marketing, you love election years and campaign races, but I mean,
all your media outlets and yeah.
I mean, it wears down the American people by and large, I would say. What I like about this is it gives, I don't want to, like, states' right is still respected, because of the idea, like, this is allowing us to, each state, kind of set their election rules and boundaries, and mail-in ballots. And this was really big. Was that 2020 when Pennsylvania changed all their mail-in?
It should have been 2020 because 21 would have been whoever got elected.
Because Pennsylvania used to be like one of the most, like, no, you need to come in person and vote.
Secure.
Yeah, and then that year they were just like, you know what? Stay at home. We'll mail it to you, and even if you show up, we still sent it out. Very loose with it. And then the big topic thing is also voter ID. But it's up to each individual state. But at the same time, the federal level can kind of say, hey, as a country, this is what we're doing. And I that's, again, one of those helps with the checks and balances. I don't understand why some people are so against some of those stuff, some of the same things. Like this is how late the polls are open, even when they open up. I think you have a certain amount of time that they can stay open. But I don't understand why there has to be outliers and be like, yeah, we don't need voter ID, or you just mail in whatever you want, like, voting's kind of a big deal, so I feel like making sure that it's secure, and definitely an American citizen privilege, of age,
well, not to go
alive.
Not to go top rope on you. I don't think it's the fact, like, they may not know or, like, why they aren't doing it. They know exactly why they're doing it.
Yeah. I know.
It's to rig the system, and that's my opinion.
But I'm like, just to stay above board. You know what I mean? Like,
but if there's no accountability, why stay above board?
Well, we're getting into sections that dive into that. So yeah, I totally agree. I mean, yes, yep. Trying not to steal from the earlier, latter parts. You're good, dude. You're good. I've done it too all the time. So, but I find it interesting. I don't know if you read that. Did you read the part about when they meet? No, not yet. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meeting shall be on the first Monday in December, unless they shall by law appoint a different day.
Again, I don't understand why they are so specific about certain things. And just so, hey man, whatever they decide, we'll do that. But like, 1st December, Monday.
And like they only had, I mean, I get it. They only had to come together at least once a year.
Yeah, that's.
But then it was like in December, and like the worst part for all of them in their lives, you know?
I feel like a lot of the members of Congress take that once a year, at least once a year. That's the only time they'll show up. I was like, I guess they're trying to be constitutional. Yes.
Sure. We'll go with that. Okay.
They're just really smart. They know how to break the rules.
Yes, they do, and not get caught. Or no accountability. Section 5. Each house shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members, and a majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business, but a smaller number may adjourn from day to day, and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under such penalties as each house may provide. So, looking over some stuff, I was trying to figure out some numbers here a little bit, like what was the absentee rate of people. I found like maybe like 1 or 2 spots, and it kept saying Congress. I don't know if they were trying to put in House Representatives with senators, which I wanted them both separate. But I was not getting that. They would tell me specific people, but I wasn't going to go through the whole list and do an average.
Yeah.
So I learned that in the Congress, the averages of missed votes throughout a career is only 3%. Which is much lower than I thought. But then again, you have the bad apples and the good apples.
Well, yeah, because the one guy who shows up every time offsets the guy who only shows up constitutionally once a year.
One person specifically that just popped out between September 19th of 2025 and January 21st of 2026, a stretch covering roughly 4 months. Swalwell making the news once again.
Attaboy.
He missed 97 out of 119 roll call votes, an 82% absence rate, according to GovTrack.
You know that if you miss school that many days, your parents would end up in jail?
Mm-hmm.
Truancy officers?
Yep. Yep. Instead, we'll find out a little bit later about how much he's making and how much per day he was making.
Definitely looking forward to that one.
Each house may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and, with the concurrence of 2/3, expel a member.
However, if you're too busy trying to expel a political, like the president, impeach him, you're not gonna. That's the stuff that like blows my mind, that they worry so much about what other people are doing to where they're not taking care of their own house, literally, or the Senate, you know what I mean? But I think this is just, it's spelled out, and I can't believe that there's not a bigger push by members of Congress to make Congress more accountable. I'm going to try and read what I wrote. But I wrote, this needs to be done more. It's just flat out. I feel like it's not. I can't remember who the last one that was that got expelled. I mean, it's been a while. But we have members not showing up for meetings all the time. I fine them at a minimum. You got professional athletes who, if they don't show up for press conferences, get fined. Mm-hmm. We have people who are governing our nation not showing up, and not even a slap on the wrist. Nothing. That I said, this is the accountability part of the representatives. I read something else. Auto type. Yet they are doing nothing to keep each other accountable. Even if it's, I feel like even if it's just one party picking apart another party and you're just doing nothing but drawing attention to how many people are missing and doing something about it. I really think you got all that money from the campaign trail. You can probably get money to pay your fines for being gone. I don't know. That's my thought.
It's all in the best way that they can spin any situation to prop themselves to look better, and they're not focused on ethics or morals or values because
they don't have any.
I mean, that's simple enough, yeah. So no, they won't take care of their own, and they would much rather try to make up false stuff. It's always the other side. Republicans will say, "Oh, those Democrats," or the Democrats will be like, "Oh, those Republicans." But yet we can't even take care of our own people. I think there was a guy that had to resign this week. It wasn't like he was expelled or expunged. We hear all the time. We hear about people getting not expelled but censured, or they try to vote on it, and I feel like most of the time it doesn't pass through. But like, what's a censure? Like, granted, I'm sure it probably gets it to where they can't do votes and they probably aren't getting paid and stuff like that, but
I don't know. But I also think, like, it's not like you're missing a meeting or you're not absent because you're back at your home state doing stuff. And if you are, you could probably catch a flight and still make it.
Probably just going to Disney World and playing through Bubble One.
I mean,
each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings from time to time, publish the same, excepting such parts as may in their judgment require secrecy, which I think they use way too much. And the yeas and nays of the members of either house on any question shall, at the desire of 1/5 of those present, be entered on the journal. Neither house, during the session of the Congress, shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting.
This is for transparency is what it's supposed to be, but like you're saying, they I truly believe abuse the judgment and requiring secrecy. So
yes. Oh, nope. This is ongoing investigation. Nope. The committee on this is hearing about this. Yeah, we can't release it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if it's this one. It might be a letter. Yeah. It's kind of tied in with Section 6 a little bit, where it's obviously the judgment of secrecy is to kind of protect each individual member of Congress, so that way they're not targeted, whether by the public or other political,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But like we're saying, it's abused. Like
prime example, UFOs. Why can't you release that stuff to us if it's not nefarious? I feel like
because the aliens are going to come down and they're going to take out those members of Congress.
They're just waiting for someone to say it, right?
Yeah.
All this time, they're just waiting for someone to yeah. Anywho, Section 6. The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services, to be ascertained by law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. They shall, in all cases, except treason, which also needs to happen more, felony, and breach of the peace, be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses, and in going to and returning from the same. And for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned in any other place. So when I was looking at Mr. Swalwell and how much he was missing,
Looking at you, buddy.
I was doing some research, and the headline from Citizen Watch Report states, Congress will work just 133 days in 2025, so last year. 12 days in July, none in August, the rest of the country is clocking in while DC is off the grid. Imagine that. The compensation, according to Congress.gov, states that for most senators, representatives, delegates, and the resident commissioner from Puerto Rico is $174,000. So, based off of last year, and this is just flat salary, this is no committees where they get more money.
Lobbyist.
That would be $1,308.27 a day, and that's not even including medical care and other perks. And I probably have to work 55 plus hours to get that in a week.
Yeah, that's normally about, yeah.
Yeah, on straight time, more or less. No senator or representative shall, during the time for which he was elected, be appointed to any civil office under the authority of the United States, which shall have been created, or the emoluments whereof shall have been increased during such time. And no person holding any office under the United States shall be a member of either house during his continuance in office.
Do you know what that word emoluments means?
No.
It's the idea of I become a member of Congress, but I really like that job over there, so I think that job, those guys should make more money. As a member of Congress, let's bring that to the floor, because whatever I really want to bring to the floor magically comes to the floor. And what I don't want to talk about and bring to the floor magically just doesn't make its way to my desk. But so basically,
isn't that kind of like pork that we see that happens in bills quite often? Research grants for certain things and
well, yeah, kind of. And like, as a member of Congress, I cannot like, yeah, I think the intern for the Congress member or whatever should make $3.5 million a year. Okay. And then magically I step away from being a Congress member to go take that position.
Oh, I got you.
It's stacking my next move, because whatever job that is, that's not really always election based.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah, and they prevented that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's ever magically been broken, but what's really weird about that is you got to find it. It says I said that they can't hold federal level jobs while being in the Congress. They also can't raise the pay of that. However, who votes the salary of Congress?
I'd assume themselves.
Congress. They've given themselves which is a federal level office. So they're just that's very unconstitutional. And we just let that go. And I'm like, if Congress gets a raise, I think the other two branches should have a say. Like the checks and balance weren't there. Like somebody should have been like, no, you guys, that's not your job. You don't vote.
What about the Supreme Court on that one?
They're too busy making laws.
Just make this one too while you're at it.
Oh, dude, do you realize that guy? I'm trying to find how many times he was actually present. He missed 90. So he was there. What is that? 18%. His attendance was 18%.
Yeah, he only made it 22 times.
He made 130. Like he cleared six figures.
$1,308 a day. Yes.
He cleared six figures. Plus a lot more because he's lobbied. I'm sure he's bought, but
no Fang no but, Chinese Five much.
But he that's crazy. 22 days, and he got six figures at it, and they have really good healthcare, and there's a lot of good perks.
That was only 4 months though, Fred. There was 8 more months, so maybe he showed up
every single time. He turned it. You're absolutely right. He turned it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was until January of this year. So no, he's not covering that because he's already out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's just that. I just that bugs me Because you want to talk about the waste of taxpayer money, right? Elon Musk, you can feel how you feel about him. Fine combing the government, where all of our tax money is going. Dude, just go to the Congress and look at it. Like, yes, it's the largest body, a governing body, but that is where a lot of tax money is going and being very much wasted. Like, if you're not there, don't get paid.
Yeah, that and social benefits. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
That should be illegal, and but the problem is they don't get in trouble for it. They get fines, which they'll happily pay because they're getting laws passed. So, you know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Yeah. Section 7. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it become a law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approve, he shall sign it, but if not, he shall return it, with his objections to the House in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large on their journal and proceed to reconsider it. If after such reconsideration 2/3 of the House shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent, together with the objections, to the other House, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered, and if approved by 2/3 of that House, it shall become law.
I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill. Sorry.
So this is how it's supposed to happen.
Yes.
Plain and simple, this is how it's supposed to go. Which makes me jump on my soapbox again about our judges that think they can make law, but really they don't. They interpret, and a good way to test this theory out, if they can make law or not, how are they going to enforce it? I don't see Roberts coming after anybody. Maybe with precedent, but no. But in all such cases, the votes of both houses shall be determined by yeas and nays, and the names of the persons voting for and against the bill shall be entered on the journal of each house respectively.
Unless judgment of secrecy.
If any bill shall not be returned by the President within 10 days, Sundays are exempted. After it shall have been presented to him, the same shall be a law in like manner as if he had signed it, unless the Congress by their adjournment prevent its return, in which case it shall not be a law. There shouldn't be any votes that are secret or undisclosed. Secrecy. All should be able to see our elected officials' stance. These, I don't know if the right term is a show vote, or they just go in kind of behind closed doors and something gets voted down and we can't see it. Why? They work for us. They're supposed to represent us. We pay their bills. Yeah. Or even, gosh darn it, we don't have the votes, so we're not going to bring it up yet. We're not going to try to pass anything because we don't know if we have the votes for it or not.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again.
The interesting thing is I was told the process starts in the House, right? And the reasoning behind this is those are supposed to be the members of Congress that are closest to the people that are that these laws are going to directly affect, right? Just the common person.
Makes sense.
So, but the irony of that situation is most people can't even name any of their representatives. Mm-hmm. Like that's the crazy thing to me, that just going back to that, like there's a reason why they only meet 133 times. And it's because they're supposed to be representing the people. So when you're not in session,
that year they only met one.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, like, you're supposed to be spending that other time not at Disney World, waving balloons around, like little blowing bubbles and stuff. Like, you're supposed to be in the state that you represent with the people that you are representing, so you can properly represent. Equal representation. I don't know, that's crazy, but
I'm sorry, I just can't get the smirk off my face. Like, people must not really take America seriously, man. I mean, if we didn't have our military, like, what a joke are we? We have grown men going to Disneyland with a bubble wand, dude.
This is why social media should have never been, like, no. Like, be professional. Be a representative and represent, like...
You're 50 or 60-year-old dude. Probably 70 because, everybody stays till they're dead. Chuck Grassley. But, yeah.
That dude's like in his 80s now, ain't he?
Grassley? He's in his 90s.
90s.
Good. Yeah, I believe he's in his 90s. But, yeah, dude. Go find something else to do but go to Disneyland. Or at least have your nieces go with you. I mean...
He just wants to see...
I mean, your boyfriend might not be good for, like, the state that you're in. So, yeah, bring your nieces and nephews along with you, but...
He just wants to see if federal level people need to get higher pay at Disney so that way he can go there.
Maybe he got to skip the lines for free like he did with the TSA, too.
That's probably true. But the reason why this is in there is to prevent... It's supposed to help prevent... It's supposed to help with the checks and balances, right? Let's say it's Republican House and Republican Senate, Democrat legislation. So sometimes, I know this is a shocker to most people, is because of what party put out the bill, right? It could be like, I think that every American should only have to work a 32-hour work week and get full benefits and be able to live comfortably off of that. And everybody in the House is like, yeah. Everybody in the Senate's like, yeah. And the president's like, no, that was a Republican idea. Shoot it down. Well, then they go back to the House. He's supposed to tell why he shot that down. I don't really know because judgment of secrecy, that term just, it's a trigger term. But... So then they're supposed to make edits and adjustments to it. And sometimes that rejection is like, add something about this and this. Like, let's put this in there. And it's like, that's why bills sound great, but they got all this extra junk in there that, like...
All the time, filler.
Yeah. Yep. That's like...
Wasting our money.
Yeah. So then the House goes, no, this was a really good thing that we did. And then 2/3 say, yeah. And then it goes back to the Senate and they go, yeah. And then, boom, it's a law. Like, it's in action. And it's supposed to remove this guy from being a monarch, a dictator.
Partial.
Yeah. So, because he can shoot down all these bills and stuff that, because in the ideal perfect world, these representatives are like, no, man, I'm from Iowa, and this is what the Iowans believe. This is how they live. This is what they do. Not, yeah, that's flyover country.
That begs the question, though. What about all these executive orders?
Dude, I know this is going to come as a shock. I do not like executive order.
It just bounces back every 4 years, one way to the other, in its extreme swings.
This is something that Governor Reynolds just signed, and a lot of people hate that she just signed it on the year that she's not in anymore, like hers last year. But the example, COVID. I believe we've already talked about this, but I'm not sure. So that's why we're talking about it. But, like, there are some places that had really, I'm going to use the term bad because that's my opinion, governors to where you got to see the clear cut where the laws apply to thee, but not to me. And it was quarantine, stay in your basement, don't go out. And then they're walking in a public park.
California.
Well, also, yeah.
That's just one.
It was a lot, but
Yes.
so, and like this got brought up to my attention because they were trying to get it to Governor Reynolds and get it passed, but it was like we're not proposing this because you did a bad job. We think you did an okay job. You did pretty good, but let's fast forward to where you're not here and a similar situation hits. This could go really, really bad really quick. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the government's telling us if we're essential or not. Like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that
Carry around your papers to show the police officer that you're out driving around.
yeah, my personal medical status now makes me elite or not. You know what I mean? Like, whether or not I got a shot, I have to show you that. You're just some guy. You're not my doctor. You're not even a caregiver to me. You're just somebody who I have to prove that
Can't go to a concert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of American freedoms were very much taken.
And given.
But it's like that could have gone. So like Iowa has it where executive order is more limited. And I think that should be it should not be I'm the president, I'm the governor. It's a time of crisis, and I get to do whatever I want.
Right. You should be pretty much handcuffed in that situation to have to be able to do anything. It should be very rare and far between, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's how they make laws now for 4 years until it gets swung to somebody else.
Yeah.
And the hard part is you can't get anybody to work. Even though they're only there for 133 days, you can't get them to work and do their job and pass anything except for one big, beautiful bill.
Well, if you're only at your job 82% or
18% of the
yeah,
time.
you're not gonna have a clue. Like it blows my mind because okay, so I'm a foreman on a particular job. That's a pretty good sized job. We did a similar situation last year, and we had 3 months to do this job. Before I got on there, I was like, hey, I got a Friday off. Well, this job was we were working Fridays and Saturdays. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, I got Friday off, and I was not even planning on being here Saturday because where I came from was only 40 hours.
Right.
And he's like, oh, no, that's fine. So I'm there. I think I got there on probably a Monday. Went through orientation. Then I worked till Thursday. And I'm catching on. I know what we're doing. Got this planned out. I take that Friday off. Miss Friday because I had it off. Miss Saturday because I wasn't told I even had to be there. Mm-hmm. Get back Monday. Completely different job site. And this is a job site. Not a country. Not even a state. A job site. And I told my general foreman, I said, I'm not taking any more time off. And he goes, you should. I mean, you don't have to. You still have a life. And I said, I am not going to be able to run this job at the level I need to if I'm not here.
Because you'd have to catch up.
Because every time I'd come back, it's a new job. Mm-hmm. Like it's completely different.
Yeah.
And that's a job site. And I'm more worried about like the safety of my guys, the supplying my guys with the material they need, and just being there. Like a morale thing too, because if you're in a position of leadership and you're never there, what are we doing here? You know?
Cashing a check,
so
selling the perks.
And it just, so it's like, I don't understand how that mindset, granted, I did not go the path of politics, I'll call it that, where I went to an Ivy League school and know how to fluff a paper. But it's like, they don't look at it like, they don't have that responsibility by and large, where it's the gravity of the job. Like, you affect everybody in America, like the reality is non-citizens even get affected by what our Congress members do. And it's like, I just don't understand that mindset. But you literally are just getting a check and going to Disney World
with your bubble wand. Every order, resolution, or vote to which the concurrence of the Senate and House of Representatives may be necessary, except on a question of adjournment, shall be presented to the President of the United States, and before the same shall take effect, shall be approved by him, or being disapproved by him, shall be repassed by 2/3 of the Senate and House of Representatives according to the rules and limitations prescribed in the case of a bill.
Man, I jumped on that before you even finished it, dude. I'm sorry. That was just this stuff, man.
No.
Once you like find out what is supposed to happen, you just go, I'm not a politician. I didn't go that route. But even I can understand this. And this is why they're trying to say, like, the Constitution, we should just get away from it. It's because, yeah, you're, according to how you're doing your job, don't even want to use that, what you're doing is unconstitutional. You know, and it's like, if more American people could see that, I mean, like the reality, I could probably call my senators and my Congress members and say, hey, so-and-so has been absent this many times. What are you guys going to do as the member of Congress for that?
Oh, hi, I'm Senator fill in the blank.
Thank you for calling. It's not. It's a voicemail.
Here's a memo. I'll give you your memo 2 months later about your call. Thanks for calling.
Appreciate you calling me.
Yep.
And it's just something.
That's why I get on the whole thing of, they say, call your senators. You know, so many people called John Thune about this Save the America Act, and his response was, oh, it's just a bunch of social media influencers and stuff. They've always got something to say. And so we all did that. Where'd it get us? Nowhere still. It never gets us anywhere.
All I know is
there's no way to apply pressure.
It bugs the intern that they have.
Oh, I'm sure they have to work 136 days instead of 133.
Well,
because of voicemails.
It was. When we went to the Capitol, I mean, it's local level, but like all the representatives were gone. Like they were out campaigning, basically. Some of them, I guess, were in session, like little sub meetings and stuff, trying to wrap things up. But like we walked onto the floor, and it was nothing but like interns and secretaries just. And I'm like, that's really who's doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those are the people running this place.
I'm sure they just, if they want to know, I'm sure they just want a number of yays and nays. I'm sure.
Well,
on a situation.
And basically their Chat GPT or whatever AI
they want to use to do the work for them. Yeah.
So basically, give me the synopsis of all of this.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they wouldn't even go that far.
And they're probably like, well, because you're sponsored by beef, you probably should vote no.
Yeah, don't get me on like farm stuff too, man.
Dude, it's everything. Big oil, ag,
I know, but
whatever you want to throw in there, there's a lobby for it.
When do I get bailed out? Whenever stuff happens to me. I mean, I know I'm not. Yeah,
but
no, not today. Not today.
You know how there's like. When was it Apple when they first came out? There's an app for that. There's a lobbyist for that. Yeah. You mustaches in America. There's a lobby for that. I guarantee it. Hey, you should grow a mustache. These things aren't cool.
It makes me want to tell the joke, but I'm not going to tell the joke.
That's a great joke. Speaking of jokes, dude, we
got a
wild card, man.
Let's do it.
And welcome to this week's segment of the Wild Card.
What is the best dad joke or man joke that always gets a laugh from the family?
So I have one that's always a go-to, but I'm gonna keep that in the holster for later.
Conceal that one.
So I'm gonna say this one's definitely more of a dad joke than my regular go-to. How does it go? Yeah.
Is that the joke?
No.
Oh.
That's not. You're gonna butcher my delivery, bro.
I'm sorry.
Diarrhea. Did you know that it's hereditary? It runs in your genes. To somebody who hasn't heard it before, hilarious when they finally clicks.
So
How about you?
okay, the question stated like always gets a laugh from the family.
Yeah.
So like I hate that I even told this joke. But I forgot the one that I was like, ooh, that's it. Because it's like one of those. This one is just like every dad in America probably has said this joke, and you're just like, But anytime we drive by a cemetery, it's funny because the first time I told it, okay, I had the two older girls, and I was like, hey, you see that? And it was a cemetery. I said, dude, people are dying to get in there. And they're like, like the whole, like, I just connected this joke, and that's hilarious. So now, like most dad jokes, it gets way overused. And it was like, I shouldn't have gone. I went there and I hesitated.
Cross the line, you gotta do it now every time.
I don't even do it. I don't do it.
Oh, the family does that?
My oldest, all the time. Hey, Dad. I'm like, oh, I already know. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, I did it and I shouldn't have. But
You just shouldn't have, man.
another question we have, wild card question.
Yeah.
Or unless you want to unholster that one. Joke.
Fine, Fred. And I did this originally back on a summer trip with you and two other people. We were doing some missionary work and helping fix up their campgrounds or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So we won't throw in details there, but
It's a classy
I go, hey Fred.
No, you didn't say, hey, Fred. You're talking about the, right?
Yeah.
Because you just knocked. Because I was like, what? Anyway, yeah.
Hold on. Now I have to try to think of the joke. Oh, knock knock. So
Who's there?
poop.
Poo poo.
Poo poo. Works every time.
I didn't even know we were doing a knock knock joke though, because you were just like, hey, Fred. I was like, what? What do you want? You're like, who's there?
Gotta make the point, man.
All right. What is one tool in your garage? I'm going to say garage because we don't have workshops, right? You don't
I
have
have
a
a garage. Yeah.
I don't even have a garage. That's why you put that on there, because I don't have a garage.
No, it was Grok. He put it on there.
Oh, nice lookout. He knows. That you couldn't live without, and why?
Probably gonna be really funny to a lot of people, but I seem to recall a lot of times grabbing a pair of vice grips. Random jobs around the house, and I'm just like, man, I'm glad I had a pair of vice grips for that. And I'm gonna throw a picture on there for you guys. And you guys are gonna wonder, what is this picture? Well, when you're doing a show, you have to try to get pictures that are free and you can use, and you can't just use certain ones because then you get copyrighted. Granted, we're not making money, we're not asking for money, so that's not really that big of an issue, but they could take it down possibly. So the picture I got here, you're going to see the vice grip is attached to this long pole that's underneath the semi-trailer, and you're going to be like, what in the world's going on here? It's very dumb, but I guess he needed a fix-it right then and there. So in the back of the semi-trailer, you have a set of tires. Well, a lot of people probably don't know that those tires can move up or they can move all the way back. It's called sliding your tandems. You're sliding them back and forth. Usually you'll slide them all the way out whenever you have a heavier load. You have a lighter load, you can push them in, so that way you can have easier turnaround places. Well, in this picture, you see a pair of vice grips hanging onto the thing that you pull to release your tires. So there must have been a malfunction somewhere. So he used the vice grips and hung them on there so that way they would stay open. So that's the picture that I have for you about my vice grips. Now you, Fred, what's the one tool you always seem to enjoy or go back to or whatever?
Being an electrician, it's strippers or linemen's.
We don't do that.
Because linemen's, I can grab a bolt head, I can strip wire with, I can twist things. They're very universal. But now they make wire strippers with the lineman plier nose. So kind of two tools in one. But like, I like my impact if you were to go power tool. But classic tape measure, dude.
Power tool. What power tool do you hate the most?
The flashlight.
Sawzall, man.
Dude, I love the Sawzall.
That thing, like getting that thing started sometimes, you're just like just 0 to like 100. Like,
I've kind of, it depends on what you're cutting.
Exactly.
But if you're cutting a pole, like a something circular, if you can grab it, kind of take your thumb and hold the top. If it's a two-hand, one of those, and like that, you hold the top, and then the blade is sitting on it, and then you go, and it'll kind of give you a little more control. But dude, they've really upped their game with those, because now there's one hand, like, dude, so nice. But I've also had to learn how to use those. But they can get sketchy. They can get sketchy. I've also seen some sketchy stuff with saws, circular saws. You saw my dad do that, where he's just... But I found myself, my guard, when we were doing my deck, my guard, I like put my thumb on my guard while I was cutting flooring. And I'm like, yeah, that's not very good. But I mean, my finger would have hit the side of the blade. It wouldn't have got any of the teeth. But
yeah.
Yeah. Probably should have had some safety glasses on. Got a couple of chunks. Had my squint goggles on, though. Those are my favorite tool. Love those squint goggles.
And last but not least, we do have a listener submission for our question this week. Thank you, listener. So, Fred. Oh, I'm sorry. Both of us.
Both.
I gotta make sure I quote this. Do y'all believe in reading the book of Jasher and Enoch? Do you consider it a biblical book form of authority?
Y'all. I
always think of Fivefold Goes West.
It's funny because I say y'all, and my daughters call me out pretty hard on it. Y'all. Anyway, I do not. And the reason why is because they're not part of the canon of Scripture, which is the 66 books of the Bible. Therefore, I do not hold that they hold any authority. I don't take them as inspired by God or anything like that, preserved. None of that. That book of Enoch's kind of weird. If that's insulting, I guess I'm sorry I offended you, but that wasn't my intent. I just answered the question. But there's some goofy stuff in there, man. And here's the reason why it's not part of the canon of Scripture is because it doesn't. If you read the Bible, all 66 books follow the theme of Jesus Christ. Old Testament, He's coming. New Testament, He has came. Revelation, He's coming again. And it will talk about that throughout the whole Bible. Mm-hmm. All of these books are in harmony with each other, despite how many years they are between, despite how many human authors there are. Whereas when you get these two, they're just kind of oddballs. There's stuff in there that you're like, what? So that I don't believe they have the authority and the backing of the Holy Spirit of God to be part of the Word of God. What about you?
Yeah, I'm glad you answered that first, because I'm definitely much simpler. I haven't even read these. I mean, I've heard of Book of Enoch, not Jasher. I've not even heard of that one. But my simple answer is, if it's not my King James Version Bible, it's not the Bible to me. So therefore, it doesn't have the authority that the Bible does. To me, it would just be the same as any other book.
Right. Right.
So that's all I have on that.
When people raise a lot of, how do I want to say this? If I'm not a Christian and I'm trying to point out flaws of Christianity, I will reference these two books and try to throw that in your face and tell you to answer that. And personally, as a Christian and based on what I believe, it's a little bit easier because I'm like, I don't recognize those as the Word of God. So that
Cool part
dismisses
too
those
is I can
arguments.
just say, hey, here's my Bible. It's not even in there.
Right.
So let's move on. Yeah.
So, and yeah, there's other, this is like the Book of Mormon. That's something that they do in light of, or they say alongside of the Bible, but they actually hold that higher than the Bible. And it's like very similar to that, where I'm like, no.
And they really hold Joseph Smith really high up there. There's some questions that people have, like, would you much rather do this or with Joseph Smith? And I'm just like, wow, okay.
And it's, that's just something. It's the canon of Scripture is the 66 books of the Bible. That is Genesis through Revelation. Those are all in harmony. The Bible talks about things are decently in order. God is a God of order. To get these outliers that, quite frankly, don't harmonize. I don't know how else to say that with Scripture. Then, I mean, I could write a book that, about like dreams or something I had. It doesn't mean it's because I'm a Christian. Doesn't mean it's part of the Holy Bible. You know what I mean? Like that's
right. Like to me, that'd be like it'd kind of just be another book. It's not anything to me.
I don't believe they have any place, but I know that there are a lot of people that strongly feel that way. So, but not me. So,
not sponsored by this show. Well, buddy, good show today. Anything else you need to add?
Nope.
All right, let's close it down. Thank you for listening to This is the Day Show, and don't forget to stay.
Thank you.